Well, we've got Edna all buttoned up for the winter, and just because we'd like to get some things done during the winter, we're going to take the seats out and take them to a local upholstery, kind of automotive seat upholstery type shop, and have them redo the seats for us. At this point, our plan is to reuse the same material. It's a little bit worn out, but we like the consistency of how everything looks. If there's a way to get new material that looks just like this, we might do that, but I think we're going to probably just end up using the same material. The main problem is the cushioning itself is all kind of mushy and falling apart, and so we want to really have new foam and everything put into this so that they're at least more comfortable, especially for long drives. So that's the plan. There's a couple of bolts to take this apart, a couple of bolts on the front here, and a couple of bolts in the back. So we'll just, you can't see them, they're kind of back here behind, but I'll just take a couple nuts off of those and should be able to lift the seat off and take it over to the shop. We'll probably end up leaving it there for a few months, so I'll do an update once we get them back, see what all the shop was able to take care of for us, and then put them back in. Should be pretty easy as far as our part goes. I think, this is not something I really want to take on myself. I'll leave this to the professionals. All right, so we sent our seats off and got them worked on, and I'll talk a little bit about kind of what we've got going on here. So just a minute ago when I was showing kind of the before, I showed the bolts that we'll need to take off to take the seats off, and sure enough, it was just 4 bolts. They have little built-in lock washers on them, on these nuts, so very, very easy job. As long as I had this off, I cleaned it up a little bit and put a little bit of white lithium grease on things. This is the adjuster to move the seat back and forth. It was really stiff before, so it's hard to line up if you don't have a seat on it, but slides much smoother now, so I think that's going to be nice with the new seats. And basically just need to bolt the seats back on. I'll show the kind of the cushioning and things here in a minute, but I thought as long as I have the seat off, I'll show a little bit of what they did. So the bottom of the old seat, the material on the bottom was like falling apart, and so there was a pile of pieces, probably a mix of mice and age and who knows what that caused this to fall apart over time. But it's all new now, so the upholstery person we took this to took it all apart, replaced the foam, replaced everything. These are the tie downs for the buttons on the seat, so he redid all of that, so they're now tied down nice and tight. So much nicer kind of setup on the bottom side. The fabric itself is still the same, so still has the nice matching fabric, although it's pretty worn. We wanted to try to keep things as original as possible. But I'm going to go ahead and bolt these in. This is the driver's side. I marked it. I'll bolt them in, and then we'll take a look at of how the cushioning feels. All right, well, 4 bolts, and they're each bolted back in, nice and solid. I tried out the lever here as far as sliding. Since I lubricated this, it's nice and smooth, so that'll be great if we need to change the location. They feel nice. The upholstery still kind of worn, but it matches the rest of the interior, and so we like trying to preserve it and keep using it if we can. The cushioning is much more firm than it had been. Still very comfortable, so we're very happy with this. Talking to the upholstery guy who refoamed these, he said that it's a fairly dense foam, and it probably will last for easily another 20 or 30 years. So looking forward to being a little bit more comfortable when we're spending hours going down the road in Edna. So this project's pretty much done. A couple things as far as timeline. We took these out in the fall. I don't remember exactly when. It was probably September or October when we put the motorhome away for the winter. Dropped them off at the upholstery shop and basically said we just need them by spring. And it's now kind of early March, and we got them back and we got them installed. Probably not actually going to drive the coach until things warm up a little bit where we are. We're just getting into kind of the rainy part of spring, so we'll keep the cover on for a little bit. But overall, very happy with the results. As far as the cost on this, taking them all apart, redoing all the foam, redoing the buttons, all of that kind of stuff, spent about, I think, $250 to maybe $300 for each one. So $500 to $600, I think, altogether for the pair. So if these last and, continue to feel good as we're camping for the next, 10, 20 years, I think that's a pretty good investment and nice original look to the front seats.